Rottweiler. Good evening. Good evening.
Alright, how's it going, everybody? So, hopefully we don't have any issues, but it's something, I don't know what I'm gonna have to do with my cable company, but for some reason it happens at the same time every day, at like 7 o'clock at night. For some reason the TV doesn't work, the internet starts cutting out, and they keep saying it's an issue with our modem, but I don't understand, but that's why I've kind of been holding off going early live by an hour. Is literally, you can count on every day at 7 o'clock, the internet starts acting up. So, fingers crossed we don't have any issues, but like currently right now my TV doesn't even work. So, we'll see here. What I think we may actually have to do is I'm going to have to unplug my router, and I may just have to move out of the office temporarily. The only issue is my AC in the back of the house is not doing the best, so it'd be like a Chinese sweatshop. So fingers crossed we don't have any issues tonight. I can already kind of tell the internet's gonna be pretty terrible, but hopefully it figures itself out, because it seems like by about 8 o'clock it kind of works itself out. But like I said, about 8 p.m. Eastern time, about 7 o'clock my time, every single night, the internet and TV it's basically like, it's like if you could imagine having TV, but having it be like dial-up, like where every 5 seconds, or you can maybe watch 20 seconds of something and then it has to sit and load. it's how my TV is. It's so strange. It's fine all day, just not at 7 o'clock. But hopefully everyone's having a good night. All right. See if we can get set up here and we'll get started. I tried to get my this thing set up, but it literally was sitting here and spinning and loading the whole time we were on the screen starting. So worst case though, if it gets kicked off, like I said, I will just I'll just tough it out and I'll plug the router in my room, because that's literally like right directly where the cable comes in. All right, looks like we might be good. How you doing, Dad Spawn, Valorian, Waba? Hey, watching Thursday Night Football? Doing the same thing, Bubble Boy. How you doing? Yeah, I'm literally watching. Well, I'm trying to watch the game right now. It's even to the point the internet on my phone doesn't work. Like, it's seriously, it's like dial-up. I don't. But it is past 8 o'clock now. In the last couple nights, it has kind of fixed itself. So let's get my Yahoo Sports app up. If you guys don't know already, if you download the Yahoo Sports app, you can literally watch the games on your phone completely free. It's amazing. Oh, never mind. I guess now they changed this game. They have restrictions where you have to have Verizon. That sucks. Just gonna try this real quick, then we will get started. I was really hoping to watch the game on my phone while we were live, because I actually I didn't bet on this game, but I'm telling you, you can make easy money this year just simply putting money on the if there's any game you see that any team's playing against the Miami Dolphins, chances are you're going to win. I've been using TronBet here. Reddit streams NFL. So DH3. There is, like I said, it's why I don't have my website in the description now. As you guys, if you haven't noticed already, you know, I don't really want to get into too much, because it kind of ticked me off, with the negotiations and stuff, but we're no longer partnered with AgroCap anymore. The prices were just too darn high, and I didn't want to go along charging that much anymore. So I basically have to go and redo the entire website again and start from scratch. So what I was going to focus on with the website now is I'm pretty much done with third party. We're going to use Market Cipher, but we're going to focus on, and this is what I was going to get into. It's going to be, you know, it's not going to be like a signals group, but it's going to be a trade setup where we'll look for low risk, high reward trades. We're going to do education on the technical indicators, and another service I was going to be offering as well is I mean, guys, because I come from the stock market. I mean, I literally made 30% gains today trading options on Tesla and Microsoft today. So we are going to, you know, I know a lot of crypto people want nothing to do with stocks. Like the moment I start talking about them, they just they shut off and leave. But I'm telling you, especially when Bitcoin's doing a bunch of nothing, the stock market has been going through the roof this entire year. So we're also going to focus on education through your technical indicators, you know, crypto trade setups. But we're also going to focus on learning how to trade the stock market, more precisely options trading. So if you guys have ever wanted to learn how to trade options, how to successfully, because I'm going to tell you, if you guys have Market Cipher, it makes trading the stock market so easy. And with options, you have to realize options, it's not like stocks. Like if you buy the stock right out, you need at least $10,000 to invest. Because I don't recommend putting money in any kind of penny stocks. But with options trading, like today on Microsoft was up like 2.5–3%. I actually bought Microsoft last week, and I'm actually still holding the stock, the actual physical stock, at about $50. I bought about 3 years ago. But seriously, just Microsoft going up almost 3% today. I made somewhere between about 20%. And then with Tesla moving up today, I made roughly about another 12% on that as well. So I had roughly about a 32% gain today, just on Tesla alone. I'm sorry, Tesla and Microsoft. So we're going to focus on crypto. We're going to focus on stocks. Because and honestly, it makes me feel better on my side. But at the same rate, I have to fix the website. So if you don't see the link, that's why. I have to basically redo the entire website. Love Cypher? It is. It literally is amazing on stocks. But give me about another day or two. I've been really busy because, as I've been saying on the Discord, I am going to be joining the family business part-time on weekends, selling real estate. So I'm kind of taking some classes to get my real estate license. So, that's why I haven't had time to like fix the website the last 2 days. But once that website's up, all the prices will be lowered. But that's really what we're going to focus on is education, learning indicators for trading cryptocurrency and options. But let's get back on Bitcoin here. Kind of missed you guys. I've really just been, I haven't had a whole bunch of time the last 2 days, and honestly crypto hasn't been doing anything. So I've been posting static videos. So Bitcoin right now is acting pretty bipolar last night. We had a really nice dip from about 10.2. On Bybit, we actually hit 9,580. So that was actually pretty impressive. What traditional markets, what exchange do you use? I use TD Ameritrade. I love that. And they also have their own like CNBC channel where they actually teach you education specifically on options. I love TD Ameritrade. But if you really wanted something to skimp by, my number 2 would probably be Robinhood. But definitely, I would definitely stick with TD Ameritrade. They have an app called Thinkorswim. It's absolutely wonderful for trading. I love it. So I thought this was kind of interesting today. So if you look at the price of Bitcoin, we literally came up and tapped resistance here at about 10,400 and we rejected it. So what does that mean for Bitcoin here? You have 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you have 5 touch points on this descending line of resistance. What? 20% plus 10% divided by 2? Between the two, I had 30%. But we tapped our resistance here at 10.4. We now have officially 5 touch points. And we are getting this yellow line is the launch date of BAKKT, which is September 23rd. Now, something I want to bring to your attention. We are on, is this Bitstamp? Okay. So luckily we had a community member that looked up the exact date. If you are here in the chat, let it be known. So the launch, okay, not the launch, but the date that we got, the exact, we got a date that BAKKT was going to be launched was June 12th. And if you look here, we had an immediate major reaction to the upside. So what does that make me think here? It kind of makes me wonder if the BAKKT news, like the launch of BAKKT, may be already priced in. Now, if this is anything like the stock market or the futures launch December 16th, 2017, this could mean 2 things. Well, I say really one thing. December 16th, the launch of futures, was the date that the bear market started for Bitcoin, really. But the difference between futures and BAKKT is it's going to be physically, like, you're going to have actual Bitcoin settled. So this is much bigger than, your futures launch, about, I guess it's not December yet, but almost 2 years ago, December 16th. So I'm going to be very curious to see if we get a buy the rumor, sell the news type of event. Because I don't think with BAKKT that we're just going to see all this institutional money just pump in all at once and we're going to the moon. I'm not sure if I'm leaning on that side of it yet. So I'm going to be watching very closely. I'm going to keep you guys updated. But guys, don't be over leveraged with this. Minimize your risk. No matter how confident you are in a position. Today, I think was just, last night and today was just a little taste of, I think, what's about to come. Yeah, we'll get into real estate here in a little bit. I honestly don't know too much about it. All my family does real estate. We have real estate agents here in Kansas, but my uncle is absolutely swamped right now. So he does stuff where he buys land and he actually contracts people to build a house when there's no house there, and he's absolutely swamped with work. And he lives in Florida. So if you guys already know, I live in Kansas. There is nothing here. There's literally nothing here in Kansas to do. So I'm kind of excited. I'm gonna start in Kansas, but once I get my 2-year license where I can actually work for myself, because with real estate licenses you have to be endorsed by someone. So I have to work for an accredited real estate agency for 2 years. But no, I'm super excited. But let's get back to Bitcoin here. Sorry guys, I'm just answering your questions. So you can see we had our high, a lower high, and another lower high, and now if you look at your money flow right here, I'm gonna have to hit my mouse here. I apologize guys. I don't know how my mouse gets so dirty. But you can see here though, we are now red here on the daily. Or we've been red, and we're actually starting to build the next wave with this momentum. So let's go to the 4-hour. Let's get a sneak peek of how this wave is starting to look. Now this is what I pointed out this morning to you guys, okay? So I did take a small loss last night. It was very small because I only really I did 2 trades at about 5% apiece. But what I did was I entered a short. I had a really small position at 9,750, and then I took another one at about 9,850, and then this morning, right when we got back down to literally right at 9,900, I basically closed that order and I flipped long. And the reason being is I want to show this or bring this to your attention. So obviously we were still red here, right? So that'd be hey, well, there's still a lot of sellers. Well, here on the 4-hour, you have a green buy dot. Here on the 3-hour, you had a green buy dot. If we go down to the 2-hour, you had a buy green dot. Pretty much every indicator threw a buy signal, and that was kind of my indicator. I'm all right, let's close. I flipped long, and honestly, I accrued, the losses was pretty five today. And so it's actually, I think it was Seether in the chat. I don't know if you're here right now, but he's yeah, I think I'm gonna sit out. And I was yeah, you know what, I cashed out at 10.3. I think I'm gonna sit the rest out for you, or with you. So now it's kind of wait or see. If you look at our time frames here, especially on your 1-hour, which is my favorite, we actually had a little bit of a cross, and now we're peeking our head red. Looking at the chart here, you can see we made a lower high. We had another touch point off our descending line. And this kind of just sets up with my bearish thesis here. I'm really curious to see if we get a buy the rumor, which we had over here, and if we're going to have a sell the news event. But from here to the 23rd, honestly, even about a day or two after this line, guys, expect there to be massive volatility. So I cannot stress this enough. Please minimize your risk. Don't be over leveraged. It's going to get very volatile. I think what we had tonight, or last night and today, I think that's just a taste of what's about to come. So, but if we go to even our shorter time frames here, you can see here on Market Cipher. Let's get rid of this here. Let's get our trend line up. So you had your lower high here, and then you also had what we're forming now, which is another lower high, and you can see we're starting to poke our head. So I'm curious to see when we turn red, what kind of reaction we get off this. So I'm really gonna be paying attention to my shorter time frames tonight. I'm really gonna be looking at the 1 hour, and I'll hover between the 15 and the 30 minute. So, and you can actually see this on the 30 minute. When you see a buy dot like this and you show a lower level of bearish momentum, I'm telling you, when your money flow is this thick in the red, you can have absolute violent moves to the upside. That's exactly what we had today. So if you ever see Market Cipher and you're showing something like this, it's not a picture perfect trigger wave, but you get what I'm talking about. You have a lower level of bearish momentum. You're thick in the red. You can really have some nice moves to the upside. So, but for now, this is already played out, and I'm kind of in a short the pump kind of mentality right now. So, you know, even though Bitcoin had a nice run today, I really want to take and give some time on the currency that's really been doing the best lately. Yeah, it doesn't work like that. Red is bad. Well, yeah. The thing though is when you're showing when you're showing lower levels of bearish momentum and you're red, that generally means there's a lot of people shorting and selling. So if you can pop momentum to the upside, you're going to have a lot of pressure that's going to be covering their short positions. And we'll get to it here in a minute. But XRP is an amazing example under 28 cents. XRP is right next after Ethereum. So Ethereum has just absolutely been stealing the show. You know, I'm kind of glad I didn't fall for the altcoin fake out, which we had. I don't even really want to call it a fake out yet, but you know, there was a lot of old style, like 2017 kind of how we were looking on the charts. And what, you know, how do I say that? In 2017, when the altcoin market really took off, Ethereum separated from Bitcoin, and then immediately after Bitcoin separated from, when Ethereum separated from Bitcoin, XRP followed directly behind. We had two of those things happen this week, and then you saw the altcoin market really starting to pick up. So I really want to see if this is just a bump in the road, or if alts are going to continue their run up. For now, I'm still holding, you know, pretty much all my crypto on Bybit right now, so I'm not really on an altcoin exchange. But you can see here though, we had a nice bounce off of our support box here at 200. We hit a high today of roughly about 225, which is, this is the resistance box, or I'm sorry, not the box, but the line that we've been talking about. Ethereum has pretty decent resistance here at 225 and about 235. So right now, it looks like we're trying to come and back test. This actually, I think I moved it here a second. It's $215. So I really want to see how we hold up at 215. But if not, if we do break it, I will be expecting another test from 205 to about 200. If we look at Market Cipher, we're actually showing a little bit of bearishness here on Ethereum. You can see here, you have a lowered level of bullish momentum. If we move down here to the 3 hour, you can see it some more. Let's go down to the 1 hour. I mean, yes, we did have a reaction off this, but overall, you still haven't, you know, whether you want this to be your anchor wave or this one, we still haven't surpassed it yet. So let's go down to the 30 minute, and you can kind of see here, it looks like we might be forming it as well. I don't want to call this bearish yet, because we could round this off and, you know, still make another move higher. But I've noticed here lately, when you start seeing moves like this, you generally can make something like this, and then you basically just round it off, and it's over for, you know, it's over with. This wave will be. So, you know, so far Ethereum has separated itself from Bitcoin. But if Bitcoin's going to tank, just like we saw last night, Ethereum will fall with it. So once again, you have resistance at 225, you have support at 215, and you have your major support box from 200 to 205. And if let's go to the 4 hour, because because this is a trade setup we actually had a while back, but it never initiated because we couldn't break 235. We just couldn't do it. So if you break 235 here on Ethereum, I'm sorry, which is right here, I think you're going to have a nice fill to at least $250. But my real target for Ethereum, if we break 235, is going to be 260 to 265. But breaking 235 isn't going to be easy. Breaking 225 isn't going to be easy. So we're simply just planning ahead. So when this situation comes up, we already have a plan in place. All right, let's take a look at XRP. Oh, wow. All right, so XRP has actually broke under 30 cents. So really what I want to see now, let's go here to our 1 hour. I want to get a closer look of these wicks. So we broke our first area of support, which is at about 30 cents. So for right now, I'm going to be watching to see if we can get a bounce off about 28.5. Let's get our horizontal line out. Let's see if I can find. I'm trying to debate of where I want to have this. Let's just call it right here. So around 28.5 cents is where I'm going to be watching for a bounce. If you don't, you know, we will go back, or we will in back test 28 cents. You know, 28 cents was our support for a very long time. You can see once we broke under it, it acted as resistance. So this isn't necessarily a bad thing. You can see when you go, so when you go parabolic and you don't build any areas of consolidation, you generally, when you back test it, you can't really be as confident like it's going to hold. And that's exactly what you saw here on XRP. So let's see if we get a bounce here off 28 cents. I will start getting a little worried if we do move back to the upside and we start treating 30 cents as resistance. That might be a pretty negative sign for XRP. So, you know, we're going to be here. We're going to watch it. But if we keep dipping, I am going to watch, you know, roughly about 28.5 cents. And then, you know, our 28 cent support. But as we were talking about, though, from a market cipher standpoint, let's go here to the daily. This is exactly what I was talking about. So when you're showing lower levels of bearish momentum and you're popping green dots off, let's get this set up here. So you can see here, you have 1, you have 2, you have 3. And then if you look over here, you are really building here on the sell side. You can have absolutely, I mean, enormous moves to the upside. And that is exactly what XRP had. If you look here on the daily, when you had your last wave where you're like, all right, oh, and actually looking on the daily, you had one, yeah, it was 3. But you really had 4 lower waves. If you look at the price action on the middle of market cipher, you were sitting here actually right at about 26 cents really before you took off. So that's just one of the things I've noticed with market cipher. When you are showing lower levels of bearish momentum and you're this thick in the red, you can really have nice moves to the upside. That's exactly what happened. So is there any altcoins or stocks or anything you guys want to look at? Hey, Mandy Eden, I appreciate it. I'm glad you enjoy the content and, you know, that I've been able to help you out in some way. That's really why I started this channel. But if there's a stock or a cryptocurrency, anything you guys want to look at, let it be known. Cryptos, I mean, let's go take a look here. Let's make sure Bitcoin's not tumbling. And if you guys could, I mean, we're going to try to look at it here. Since the internet's kind of acting weird here, I don't have my exchange up. But if we are looking at, you know, stocks or altcoins, if you start seeing Bitcoin tumbling, let me know in the comment section. I've noticed it seems to do that every time I'm looking at like other currencies and I'm away from Bitcoin. That's when it seems to make its gigantic move on stream. All right, so we're not doing too bad now. 10,248. Man, you were just extremely red here on Bitcoin. But the thing though here is on this move, do you see there's really no lower levels of, you know, bearish momentum here. We literally just popped a green buy dot and went to the upside. Okay, I see it here. So it was really on the lower time frames to catch it this morning. You had 1, 2, and then 3. And then once again, guys, look how red you were. This kind of goes into what we just talked about. When you see this many, I mean, whether it's in the same wave or 3 separate waves or 2 separate waves, and you're this thick in the red, you can have massive moves to the upside. And that's literally exactly what we saw here. You can see here on the 15-minute, it's actually looking like, I guess I could just draw my trend line, but we are definitely looking like we're showing a lower level of bullish momentum. Pier 1. PIR. All right, we'll go in order. So we'll look at Pier and then we'll look at XMR. All right, so this is trading. Oh, okay. I wonder why it says Bitcoin. All right, so you can see here we're up. So the current price of this, it's actually a stock, is $9.73. I'm not actually particularly familiar with this, so we're going to zoom out and get the trend as a whole. Oh, wow. What a... Oh, it's not the best. The reason being is the stock market has just been on an absolute tear, and this thing literally hasn't absorbed any of the gains. Literally, the stock market really took off in 2012. I mean, you caught a little bit of the ride. I don't know if this thing got some negative news. I'm not honestly, I mean, I guess it's Pure One Imports, but I'm not actually really familiar with this. So we really can't fib this, and the reason being is you would literally be at the bottom. You would be right at your anchor point, because this is probably where I would want to anchor it, and you're sitting literally right there. So this asset was only almost $520. So we hit about $502, and now you're sitting at just under $10. Damn. Just want to see where this line is in. Just getting a closer look of this. There's no way. That's so strange. Let's get a closer look at this. There's no way. Are you guys seeing this? It's literally showing in the negative. Like, there's no way. Negative 75 cents? There's no way. So it's showing that you literally You got way oversold at one time. I don't know if this is when it took off. Like I said, I am not familiar with this asset, but I can tell you with certainty there's no way this went below 0. See if this reloads, if it comes back. You should close out the indicator and open it back up. Alright, let's do it. Do I need to log back out? Alright, let's open this back up. So it's in my favorites. We'll have market cipher A, and then we'll get B on here. So what, they just got the update? Has made a new, Bitcoin has made a new low, not long. I'll see if I can find anything different here. I'm guessing it's on market cipher A. Alright, I need to fix this just because this is how I use market cipher. If you don't, that's completely okay. But I don't use these like Bollinger Bands or whatever, or the ribbons, whatever you want to call them. I don't use them. Looks like I still need to get rid of some of the stuff. Oh, this is why. There you go. Green dot, plots. Alright. See if I can see anything different here. Tell me if this is updated or not. Like I said, this is news. I just found out with you guys. New update is on B. Okay. I was like, man, I ain't seeing anything different, but alright, so far I'm not seeing anything different, but like I said, if... okay, I see it. These dots. Is this the new update, guys? It makes a lot of sense that you see these red dots whenever you see falling momentum. It's actually pretty nip. Yeah, added red and green dots. Awesome. Thank you, NAD Crypto. Mandy Eden, thank you. I appreciate it, guys. So something is just looking funky on this right now. So we're going to look at this from a close standpoint, because there's no way this asset was trading in the negative. I can just tell you that with 100% certainty. You literally can't go below 0. So it looks like you found a bottom here at roughly about $3. This is your Pier 1 imports. You're actually having a nice little run up here to the upside. I can already see a layer of resistance that we can look at. Let's see here. There you go. And this is going to be red. So I can tell you though, just looking at this chart, okay, it looks like you could have a nice little gap fill here soon. Alright, so you are going to find resistance here at about $10. You've kind of poked your head above it and you get rejected. You poke your head above it, you get rejected. Let's get this other line. You know what? I'm actually going to make this a box. I think this would do it a little bit more justice here. So your resistance box is going to be from about $10 to $10.50. But just looking at this from my perspective, you could actually have a nice little fill to almost $12 if you can break above $10.50. Yeah, I actually need to move this down a little bit. And then we can get our second line over here. So if you break above 1050, I am going to be eyeing the $11.50 to $12 range on this asset. Like I said, this is my first time hearing of it. So we are literally just looking at this together. If you're going to look for areas of support, I'm going to be looking at about $7. Honestly, about the $7.50 range. If we want to get more short-term support, let's see here. I'm just seeing. Okay, I can already see it. There you go. So the way I come up with supports, guys, and resistances, you want to find consistent touch points. Whether it's support and then you break below it and then you come back and back test it as resistance. Especially if they're about on that same line, that's how you can come up with your supports and your resistances. So on this, I would be looking at the $9 area for your more close term support, and then after that, I would be really looking at about the $8 range, and I can already see it right about here. You have your touch points here as support. You have another layer of support through here. So, you know, the $7.50 to $8 range. And I'm actually going to make this a box, and then we're going to look at XMR. And then I'm going to turn the screen. So $7.50 to $8 is your more major support. You have short-term support here at about $9. You're going to have resistance from about $10 to about $10.50, where you can reverse your price action at any time. And then after that, I think you could have a nice little run up to about $11.50 to $12. Let's take a look at XMR. Good old Monero. Yeah, you know what? We'll look at Kraken just because they're like one of the OG. I'm not a huge fan of them, but I know they have a lot more data than, honestly, a lot of other exchanges. So XMR, Monero, is trading at about $75.60. I'm not huge into privacy coins. As you can tell, I actually don't have anything plotted. Let's pull this out. I want a closer look. Okay, so let's get our 4 hour. That's where I like to plot my touch points the best. Trying to see if I can find any areas, like I said, of consistent touch points that we can try to plot, you know, our supports at. So actually, what I'm going to start out with this asset, we're actually going to use the Fibonacci retracement. I want to see if there's anything I can pull from this. Alright, so when you're doing your Fibonacci retracement, we're going to be looking at the trend as a whole. So you're going to be using your bottom to your exact top. And you can see here we are using your 786 as resistance here, and this is at about $110. If you're going to be looking for support, you're sitting literally right at it right now, but there is going to be some support here at about $75. After that, I'm really going to be looking at probably the $70 range. You can see it about right here. Might have to change this music. I don't know. It's kind of tripping me out. So if you're looking for areas of support, you have short-term support. You're literally sitting right at it now at about $75. You'll have your next line. You can see it is support here. It's resistance here. But you can see multiple touch points off of this. This is at about $70. If you really want to go even further than that, you know, once again, it seems like there seems to be support at the $10 ranges. So about $60. Worst case scenario. If you're going to be looking for resistance, once again, I know this is pretty far off, but your 786, you can see the touch points all across it. So that's about at $110. And I can just tell you this from experience, $100 will also be resistance because it's a psychological number. And if we want to find a more closer resistance point, I would be looking at about $90. Let's see if I can find anything else that corresponds. All right, right here. You can see you have touch points here, cluster of touch points in through here, you know, more right in through here, and then we actually broke through it and we've back tested it, and it is now flipped as resistance, and this is at about $80. Okay, that was weird. Everything basically just shut off all at once. Let's get this going here. So for XMR here, you're going to have resistance here at $80. Your next resistance is going to be $90. You can just pretty much expect you're going to have your psychological $100 resistance. I don't want to make this too cluttered, as I hate cluttered charts. But you can actually see it. You have another touch point here, here, and here, and it's actually acting as support all in through here. So $100 is going to be pretty massive resistance, and then your 786, which is here at about 110. With your first areas of support, you're literally sitting right above it right now at $75, and then $70. Let's get this zoomed in a little bit. So you have your 75 right here. You have your touch points here as resistance, and then support over here at about $70. And then this is like if really stuff starts hitting the fan, $60. How do you trade options on a 1-day time frame? Well, just being honest, I day trade options. Options, you can make a lot of money very quickly, but you can lose it just as fast. So I only trade on the short time frames, like the 1 hour. I'll use the 15, the 30 minute, and the 1 hour. Usually if I buy an option, I sell it the same day I buy into it. Now if we're like in a really bullish environment, sometimes I'll buy something maybe today and sell it tomorrow. But you have to realize if there's a tweet or something negative that comes out in the after hours, you're going to be royally screwed when the market opens the next day. So now granted, I do options that trade within, you know, I'll do the weekly or maybe the monthly options sometimes. If you want to, like, if you want to speculate on like Apple, what it's going to be like in the fourth quarter in January, you can buy options, but you have to realize the more farther you buy out, the more expensive they're going to be, and the closer they are to expiration. Like let's say you want to buy one, like let's say today's Monday and you want to buy options that expire on Friday, they're going to be cheaper. And I might be getting my terminology wrong, but there's a thing called, I want to say it's like delta. So like let's say you buy, so you have to realize even though something says it's $1, to purchase an option you have to buy 100 contracts. So if it says it's $1, you're gonna have to be spending at least $100, and you would be buying one contract. So I think I'm getting it mixed up. It's either the delta or the theta, but there actually will be something that will eat at your cost, and that can fluctuate every day. But like let's say you buy something, like let's say we bought that $1 Apple option that expires on Friday. There could be a 10-cent basically charge on that. So if your thing just sits there and consolidates and doesn't move, you're gonna get ate up in 10 cents of that. So you'll basically be losing about 10 cents of your value, or 10% of your value every day. So the closer to expiration, the cheaper it's going to be, but the more risk you're going to take, but you can make a ton more profit. The more farther out your options are, the more expensive they're going to be, but you're going to be less affected by short-term price action. And also that, I'm going to look it up. I keep getting confused. It's either the delta or the theta. That number won't be so high. So you could buy them at $4, and if you have to buy 100 contracts of it, that's going to be $400. And if they expire, let's say in like 3 months, it could be pretty negative. Maybe you'll lose like maybe 1 to 2% of that value a day. The thing with options is you need price action. because you can have puts and calls. So calls are basically mean you're betting it's going to go up, and puts are meaning you're betting that it's going to be going down. So it's basically like shorting. With options, consolidation is not something you want. Basically, both contracts can go all the way to zero pretty quickly, especially if you're buying the weeklies or the ones that expire that same week. Generally, if you're not really wanting to buy something and day trade it, I recommend maybe buying the quarterlies, something that expire, but you have to realize you're going to be paying a lot more. Like there's some options out there that'll be $26, and if you have to buy 100 of them, you have to spend $2,600 just to buy one contract of it, and you can't buy anything less than one contract. So if you ever see a price, you have to multiply that by 100 to buy one contract. But you have to realize, though, and that's why we're really going to focus on education, because you can make a ton of money with options, but guys, you can lose it just as fast. But you can do things as well that will minimize your risk. Like if you're betting long, but you want to have a hedge in case we go down, you could buy 2 contracts. You could buy 2 calls, which means you're going to be going up, and then you can also buy 1 put. So if you're losing, if your main trade goes sour, you're going to have, your puts to basically hedge your overall, your calls that you just bought. There's a lot of ways, and we're going to get more into that about how you can hedge your own calls. Or there's a thing called the butterfly effect. It's basically what we just talked about, where you basically hedge your own calls. It kind of kills your gains, but at the same way, you can make gains. You just won't make as much, but you're basically hedging against both of your bets. So there's Monero for you. Let's take a look at Bitcoin here. I want to see what Bitcoin looks like with the new update we have here. So if you haven't noticed already, I've started using the Bitstamp charts. I just really like how they move. I'm sorry, not move, but I like the data that you have. I don't like the price movement that Bitstamp has. It's really like unnatural. Like if you watch the Bitstamp price action, it doesn't go up like $1 or $2 at a time. Like last night, you would be like at 10,100, and then you'd be 10,000. I mean, it was basically moving in increments of $20 and $30 up and down, up and down. Where the other exchanges were moving more naturally down $2, $3, $4, $5. Even though it might be doing that quick, you're not having these $20, $30 gaps just constantly up and down. Gonna do this real quick. It should take like 2 seconds. I don't really use Coinbase too much, but it's one of the only things that are actually linked to my actual account. Alright. So let me know in the chat while I'm doing this real quick. Let me know what you want to look at next. I have to say, though, I really do love Coinbase. So, like, there was a day last week I sent, like, $50 by 8 a.m. I sent it at 8 a.m. By 3 o'clock, the same day, it already hit my bank account. But I literally only use Coinbase for basically sending money off exchanges, or like to my bank account. Let me know in the chat while I'm doing this real quick what you guys would like to look at. Think ETH is looking for a short on the 1 hour? Yeah. ETH has the most to lose because it's so up. The only thing that scares me about shorting ETH is the buying, like the buying momentum it has on it. ETH has really been hot, but man, if you're thinking Bitcoin's gonna tank, that is by far probably the best move, is to short Ethereum if you're looking for like a gains wise. All right, got that out of the way now. Let's take a look at Ethereum real quick. We just looked at it, and so once again, I want to bring this to your attention. If you do use Bybit, they now have a coin swap function, so you're not stuck basically with the coin you deposited. So for instance, even though I'm holding Bitcoin, I can switch to ETH if I think that's the better play, long or short. The risk you're taking with ETH is, man, you break above 235, you're going to have a massive gap to the upside. I think you're going to at least hit 250. But you can see all the touch points here on 235. And you can see your next area, you know, with touch points here is at about 250. So you break 235. I mean, I think the worst your run-up's going to be is 250, but I'm really going to be looking for 260, 265. This is a trade setup we've had for a while, but it is only contingent when we can close a 4 hour above 235. We had a fake out here a while back. Right here. We got all excited. We're like, oh, is this the setup? And it literally just faked to the downside. Imagine that. So, hey, I have to say, I kind of like this update on Market Cypher here. Let's see what it was showing this morning. You're starting to see some red dots here on the 1 hour. So on the 1 hour, you're showing lower levels of bullish momentum. So that means the bears could be maybe taking some control here. And you can see here just how thick you are here on the positive side. Yep, and what do you know? This is what we were looking at. Remember how we were speculating? Remember how I said a lot of times, I mean, we could theoretically move up and then do this. I've noticed there's this trend lately where you basically round this off and then we'll move to the downside. The thing that worries me about on ETH though is the buying pressure is so strong on this. You could literally, you could seriously make a lower level of bearish momentum and you will take off. You have your snake eyes here on the 30-minute. And if you were to show something like this, oh man, it could be off to the races again with ETH. From a percentage gain wise, Ethereum is by far going to be the best one. But if you're asking from a risk to reward standpoint, Ethereum by far is going to have way more risk, longing or shorting, to be honest. BD, buy the dip on the 15-minute. Let's take a look. Yep, this is what we were just looking at. This is what we were talking about. So I'm telling you guys, I would really kind of stay off the higher time frames for now, because by the time it shows up, it's probably too late. So I'm really going to be watching. Man, you have 3 buy signals here. Wow. I'm really going to be sticking to my 1 hour. That is my favorite time frame. Nothing will ever change about that. But I'm really going to be alternating between the 15 and the 30-minute. I'm not a big fan of anything below the 15-minute. I know I might take some heat on that. I just don't. It's my personal trading preference. With technical analysis, the more data you have, the more, the better your TA is going to be. And I mean, really, for me, trading below the 15-minute is, I mean, yeah, you can catch some gains. You probably can catch them earlier, but you can also take premature calls and be left holding the bag, or be, trying to break even. So, I would rather miss out on a couple, whether if it's on Ethereum, a couple dollars, or, Bitcoin, maybe miss out on $50 to have it confirm on the 15-minute than to jump prematurely into a position. But you can see here, though, this actually did it while we were on stream. We actually had a nice touch point here off 215. Ethereum really isn't looking too bad here. But once again, if you're bearish on Bitcoin, if you think Bitcoin's going to consolidate, then ETH can definitely keep running. But if you think Bitcoin's going to tank, I would not be longing Ethereum right now. But man, you've really had two opportunities right now to short at resistance here. I'm really going to consider, it's just really going to be contingent on how Bitcoin is. But you've had two opportunities to short around 225, and you would have been able to sell between 218 and 215. Is ETH testing the water and prep for Bitcoin dump? I don't want to say that yet. But Ethereum is by far going to be the most profitable move, but you're going to be taking a lot more risk than just staying with good old Bitcoin. But if you believe Bitcoin's going to go below $10,000, ETH and XRP are the ones I would be looking to short by far. They have the most to lose. They had the best gains this week. And as we've talked about, when you go parabolic like this bullish engulfing candle, I bet it even looks better on the daily. Alright, well, it actually doesn't look, you see it's just a series of candles. Let's see. It looked better in the moment when it was happening. But when you don't have any areas of consolidation, you're basically not forming support. So if you go back test, there's nothing to say like, oh, well, we're going to bounce. Now, Ethereum did. Ethereum has had a nice bounce here. It looks like we actually tried forming consolidation above 205, and we didn't. But at the same rate, we did go back test $200. We tested it here, and then also look right here. It was acting as resistance before we broke above it. So you can see a touch point here at roughly $200. It was resistance here at $200. So I'm really confident in the $200 area. If Bitcoin wasn't so darn bipolar last night, I would have bought Ethereum at $200 last night. I was really on the edge about buying it, but something about that move, and I said it on the Discord last night, something just didn't feel normal about it. It just didn't. I was, we were like 10,100, and I was like, all right, we're getting close to our major support at 10,050. I was like, I'm going to go let the dogs out, let them use the restroom, and I was going to hop in bed and trade. I had the laptop ready. I let the dogs outside for about 5 minutes. I came back in, and it was like 9,840. I was like, man, are you serious? Like, and that is really my only pet peeve of why sometimes I like the stock market better than, than crypto. Bitcoin, they don't make steady gains or declines. I've noticed, especially lately, Bitcoin literally makes the move in 5 minutes. Maybe 10, 15 if you're lucky. But there is no, like, steady move to the upside or a steady move to the downside. I mean, the best you're going to get is maybe some consolidation and then your move, kind of like what we're happening right now. So chances are we're going to either have a violent move to the upside or a violent move to the downside. I don't think we're going to gradually climb back to support or resistance. And we actually had a Discord member talk about it. Bitcoin has really been in this pattern. You could honestly make really good gains if you just go in the opposite direction after the impulse. And what do I mean by that? So I try to make it known I don't like shorting or longing into an impulse that's already happened. An example, now sometimes it does work out in your favor, like on this major dump from 270 on Ethereum. You could have technically, shorted right here and you would have made really nice gains. Now Bitcoin's probably the best one to talk about on this. But if you basically wait for the impulse to happen and then you just start a position, whether you had an impulse to the downside that was large and then you just, you long the bottom, or you have an impulse to the upside and once you start consolidating, you open up a short, that really has been a successful strategy, especially here lately with Bitcoin. So like right here, you tumble down. I mean, this is this is a pretty massive move here. Let's go to the 1 hour. Let's see if we can see this a little better. So, like on this pump right here, you had on your candle to the downside. You had a large candle to the downside. Once you hit your support, which this is resistance now, but it was support at the time, this would be the time to long. And then guess what? You came back up. You had your nice impulse up to the upside. Guess what? You've had a nice run to the upside. You hit the top of your resistance box. This would have been the time to short. I mean, sometimes you can catch a second wave, but I've noticed with Bitcoin there really isn't a second wave. You basically have a major impulse, you consolidate, and then you make your move in the opposite direction. Bitcoin is about to drop to another low. See how we look on the momentum indicator. Market cipher B. Yeah, we're just now starting to register some bearish momentum here. We'll take a look at the 5 minute. Let's see how it looks. Yep. We are starting to build some here. And if you noticed, this is the 5 minute, so this was basically today. But you had your buy momentum here. And we are just now starting to pop our head in the red. And your money flow up here. We're now popped to the downside as well. So we're going to keep a close eye on this. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull up Bybit just in case I need to jump into a position. I don't know if I want to start dollar cost averaging into a position here. The reason being is we do have support at about 10,180, 10,200. And I've noticed Bybit and Bitstamp, the prices have actually gotten closer together. And what I mean by that is there's generally like a $50 spread. And I've noticed after major dips, Bybit seems to basically get closer to the average price, like Coinbase or Bitstamp or Binance. Because here for a while, there's been about a $50 difference. Yeah, Pop Defender. I've actually started looking at the whole the Liberator indicator. Someone in my Discord was talking about it. And it's funny because I actually have not to FUD AgroCap, but it's scary. I had screenshots before we split up of a lot of the calls the AgroCap had. And what's funny is so I don't have the AgroCap indicator anymore, but I've looked over here. I do have my alert set up, and still, even though I don't have it, the thing still goes off. It's hilarious. So I still get the 3-hour calls even though I don't have it anymore. But nonetheless, I have started using the Liberator, and I'm telling you, the calls are literally almost exactly the same as the AgroCap 5 minute and the 3 hour. Market cipher A. Let's get rid of this one. We'll take a look at it. If you're not sure of this, it's a free indicator. It's actually on TradingView. I just type in Liberator. So I use the A. It's the free one. It acts very similar, but seriously, if you go to the 3 hour and you compare it to the market cipher calls, they're literally like exactly verbatim the same. I'm not a coder, so I don't know the difference, like how these things are coded, but I don't like any of these. I think they're like the Bollinger Bands. I'm not a fan of them, to be honest. But seriously, it has a lot of, like, it has your whale. Like I said, I don't know the source code of this, so I don't know how accurate. But based on, like, the green triangles, and then your red triangles, I'm telling you, like, it's very, I'll have to show you guys on Discord. I'll take a screenshot. But I have printouts of the aggro cap, or screenshots of the aggro cap 3 hour calls. And they're literally these things are literally exactly the same. And what's funny is I got the 3 hour went off today when we broke above 10,000, and guess what? What do you see here? Right at 10,000, you see the 3 hour triangle pop up. Well, I don't want to overpower my CPU right now because I have my exchange, but I'll try to find it and post it on Discord. But if you compare the aggro cap, the V1, the 5 minute, and the 3 hour, because like I said, I don't know the coding it was made with, but I'm telling you, these things are literally exactly the same. There's no difference, and this is free. See what it showed on the 5 minute here. We can look at some of the calls it's had. I don't know what a lot of these mean. Like, I don't know what the difference of the solid triangles and the line triangles, like with the arrows. I don't really know the difference. Like I said, I don't know the source code. I don't know what this is made with. A Discord member recommended it to me, and it seems to be pretty solid. So it's just something to look at, guys. I mean, it's completely free. I mean, if you want to check it out, just go through this is how you back test an indicator. See, I'd like to get rid of a lot of these, like, I hate cluttered charts. It's just one of my pet peeves. Let's see here, the red cross, let's get rid of those. Let's get rid of the blue triangles. I don't care for the yellow X. I don't really believe there's a whale indicator, so let's get rid of that. Alright. Oh yeah, I don't want the... It's weird how it's even called blood diamond too. I bet this guy that made this indicator, I bet he watches Crypto Face. Alright. Should be a little less cluttered. But yeah, once again, this is just called Market Liberator A. You can see it had a really nice call here earlier this morning. And once again, this is like what I was watching this morning. I saw Market Cipher popping green arrows out, and then I saw this 5 minute flip at 9,900. I was like, yeah, I'm closing my short, and we're going long here. I mean, it even called this dump last night here. And I have watched this in real time. It's not a lagging indicator, so something to check out, guys. And just back test a lot of its calls. Just go through all the time frames and look at all the past calls. So according to this, I really like on this one using the 15 and the 30 minute, and then the 1 hour, of course. Well, the 1 and the 3 hour. But this actually shows this, and this is why I like it so much. You can see, do you see how we have our support box here? Well, this thing's kind of inclined with what I'm thinking. If we break below 10,180, that could really be an indicator to short here. You've had a ton of success with the whale? Alright, Gabe. I haven't actually... I don't know what this music we're playing, but it is... May have to change it. As long as they don't sing anymore. Alright, so current Bitcoin price is 10,230. We are just now starting to dip our toe into the support box. Let's see if she holds. Really sucks my phone won't show the NFL game tonight. See, like, that's the thing. Like, on my phone right now, according to my phone, there is no internet. You can't hear the music? That should be a little higher. I can already tell this person's gonna start singing again. I've listened to this one before. I think this is one of the ones we've... The only thing I don't like about synthwave or whatever this is called, they do a lot of singing. I'm not a huge fan. I just like the little background music to kind of add some sound while I talk. I'm not a big fan of the techno music with singing. We just changed albums, guys. So you're going to have to let me know how the volume's doing. Since I changed music. Oh, I got you, Pop Defender. Yeah, if this is too loud, just let me know. I just like having a little bit of background music. Actually, before we get off the Liberator, I want to see what it shows on the 5. So the 5-minute actually popped short here. It popped short at about 10,250. Interesting. I don't like taking 5-minute calls, but if we go to the 15-minute, we're actually sitting right at support. And you can tell we're obeying it because we're literally just sitting here and holding right on top of it. This is at about the 15-minute is showing at 10,215. And so far, it looks like we've outpaced this small wave. It looks like we're kind of gunning for this one now. So let's see what happens. So has anybody tried the US Binance exchange yet? I heard they weren't offering a ton of coins, but I was kind of thinking about checking it out. I saw there was like 15 US states that were actually barred from it. Like there, even though it's a US Binance exchange, like there was a ton of them, like Texas, North Carolina, New York. I'm sorry, not New York, Vermont. But there was a ton that are not allowed to use it yet. Current Bitcoin price is 10,228. Wild Hassan, are you talking about the Liberator? And see, that's what makes me wonder how the aggro cap was tuned, because I'm telling you, like, Apparently you were supposed to use the regular candles on AgroCap too. I'm not a coder, so I don't I don't know I don't know much about this kind of stuff, like how they're coded or designed, but so it really seems to be this 10,180, 10,215. They seem to have this little equilibrium. Yeah, the 15-minute, we're literally sitting right on top of it. So let's see. You can see the calls though. Some of them are kind of small, but you have to realize if you take any calls from this time period, it's kind of like what I try to stress. It doesn't matter what indicator you're using, especially if you're using a scalping indicator. They're going to struggle in times of major consolidation. It's just no indicator is going to be able to accurately predict a consolidation area of $50 to $100. But you can see here, you threw your sell signal and like your warning signal and your short here at 10,200 last night. And then you turned around and you flipped. It actually shows you actually flipped long here at 10,000, or I'm sorry, 9,880. Thank you, Wild Hassan. I appreciate it. The Market Liberators Discord says to use the Hike and Ashy candle. What's the right answer? Just playing. Let me know if the volume got too loud, because I noticed it got a lot higher on my end. So for the people, because like I said, my Discord was the one that brought this to my attention. What, like when you're trying to not really scalp, well, okay, let's just call it scalping. When you're trying to do a swing trade, what time frames do you find to be the most accurate? I really like using the 15, the 30 minute, and of course the 1 hour. What time frames do you find best work with this indicator? You know, I don't really have a set of instructions. I guess I haven't checked their Discord channel. And it makes me wonder, because they have a free A and they have a one you have to pay for A. It's like, well, which one are we getting? I mean, obviously it's free, but like I'm talking like quality-wise. Oh, look at this. We actually popped a warning signal here. All right, cool. Hike and Ashy. All right. Let's go to Hike and Ashy again. Or wait, did you say AC or? Yeah, Hike and Ashy. All right. Just making sure, guys. Current price on Bybit is 10,207. I'm going to see if we confirm this. I'm guessing you're going to have to close a 5-minute under it. Are we getting ready to dump, chat? See, do you see this price action? We literally went from Bitcoin being at 10,002 to 10,020 in just a quarter of a second. I hate the price action on Bitstamp. I would never be able to trade. I mean, they have the most data when it comes to like a charting perspective, but damn, like I can't do that where it's just like it's not fluid movement. When you're just going in increments of $15 and $25 every quarter second, that would just get on my nerves really quick. All right. So while we have everyone in the chat, we are going to get a straw poll. Just going to be easy. It's hard for me to like look at if I say bullish or bearish, it's going to be hard to like count them all. So we'll start a little straw poll. I'm curious to see. We're not going to do like price ranges. It's just going to be simple, like We'll be fair. We'll put it all in the same price. Alright, making sure I got it. Alright. It's a question, so let's put a question mark. Alright, guys. So the current time is 9:23. We'll call it at, let's just say we'll call it at 9:45. We'll give it like 20 minutes. We'll give you guys 20 minutes to vote. I'll keep this up so we can check it. Check the score of the game here. I still can't believe Verizon put restrictions where you have to have a Verizon phone number to watch the game. That is so stupid. Because I love watching these NFL games on my phone. And I don't have a TV here in my office. I mean, I could, but obviously if just the router's overloading the cable, I don't think adding a TV in here would probably help out our situation. Good thing it's not like a major game. I just like watching the games in general. Damn, Jacksonville's whooping on Tennessee right now. Current score is 17-0. Yeah, I didn't know they had. Hey Justin, I didn't know they actually had a Discord. So someone here will have to help you. I'll look at the Discord here after stream here. Oh. All right. You good, Reese? I swear, every stream, my dog just sits right next to me. How you doing, Tom Brady? I saw Tom Brady as, I guess he hurt his calf or something, and him and, like, Phil Mickelson are hooking up. I guess he has some, I don't know what he does for calves, but you guys are scary good now that you have Antonio Brown. I'm guessing since you're Tom Brady, unless you have that name just by chance, guessing you're a Patriots fan. Good. Good, Reese. According in the there isn't much of an invite, or there isn't much of a difference. Okay. I want to check this Market Liberator for a second. I want to see what it shows on SPY. SPY is like, it is so close to all-time highs. Damn, so it called it here. So SPY, I'm telling you, it's struggling. It's struggling at $303 because you're going to be at all-time highs. So here on the 15-minute, you actually threw a short signal. And you can see we pretty much immediately lost some gains here. We threw a short. Did we okay, we're still not looking bad. SPY, I wouldn't get too worried until we break, you know, $300. You can actually see, I don't So what I'm going to do with this chart, we're obviously pretty deep. Let's get rid of this real quick. Let's get rid of our indicator just for a second. I'm going to move this resistance box to up here now. I'm going to flip this red. And then since we're looking at this from a day trader's perspective, we're going to go see if do you see how I'm doing this, guys? We've encompassed this candle on the downside, and now you see all these touch points across the bottom. This is clear that this is an area of significance. And if you look at the price, it's actually about, well, it's about $300.50. But if you wanted to, like I could even pull this down to here. Let's get this to 300. And the reason you could do that is, you see how you have your resistance right here? And then if you go across here at the bottom, do you see all your touch points here across the bottom? And then do you see how here up top, how you have your wick here, another wick here is resistance? This is also an area of significance. I just really like to show you guys how I plot these points out, so you guys can learn to do these charts on your own as well. Actually, I want to zoom into this a little bit. There you go. So let's get our Liberator up. Let's see what it looks like. I just wanted to get that red off so we could actually look at the call a little bit more in depth. You can see here, we did flip short at 301.87. You're about at $301 now. Let's look at it from like a 3 hour. Let's see what it shows. It's kind of hard to see where it actually flipped. I want to see if I accidentally red cross, blue triangle. Okay. Below. Yeah, we'll put above. Alright. I'm actually going to make these even more. I want to change the color of this a little bit. So this was... Here. I'm going to turn this to green. Let's get this to more like a traditional... Alright. Let's get this looking a little less like techno looking. And you can see here, this is actually really nice. Can you see our support line here at $300? And what do you know? The Liberator has it right on that line. The blue triangle would be your flip. Okay, here. Let's get her back on. Yeah, blue triangle. Alright, we already have it. Let's get this actually green. I want to get away from the blue look. Blood diamond. Let's actually make it blood, not like barely. Get our blood diamond. We'll get this red as well. There we go. We're getting a little bit more of a normal looking indicator. It's not so like 80s techie like. Alright, see how this looks. Alright, I like how this looks a lot better. Do you see how it's so much more defined and you can see it now? I like this a lot better. This looks a lot more. I like the color with the definition of the lines rather than the default colors. Yeah, awesome, Justin. Yeah, I'm excited to do some content on stocks. You know, I've had just a ton of success with it. It's honestly, I've been a stock trader since 2014, about May to be exact. It's really where I built my skills, you know, with technical analysis. Damn, this thing is so good. Look at this 3-hour call on Tesla here. You flipped long at 215, you confirmed at 220, and now you're all the way up to 250 almost. This call on options, and you have to realize this is like since the beginning of September. This is easily probably if you bought like monthly calls on this or like 2-3 week calls, you're probably up at least 100%. This would be well, you would have your calls and your puts. Calls mean you're betting to the upside. Puts means it's like a short, to be simple. The thing I would be looking at here on Tesla though is you are showing a lot of downside here. Basically what we're doing now, guys, is I just wanted to see how this Liberator looked on your normal assets, like your stocks here. I mean, it really, I'm telling you, it really is scary. I don't know the coding behind AgroCap, but this is very similar. I mean, of course, some of these calls aren't going to be perfect. Like I said, I don't know the back coding with this, but from an overall standpoint, if you're right at least 60%, 70% of the time, I'm good with it. I'm only going to use it for confirmation, so it's not like I'm going to see a signal and jump in immediately. I wonder what this would look like on the 15. So this was today alone. You would have bought at 243, and we hit a high of 248. Very nice. So, you know, it's something we're going to keep track of. This is my Microsoft. I made a pretty nice gains on it today. Super nice. It does look low, and this is one of the reasons why I sold my calls today. You can see you're making a much lower high. So when we had this major spike today, this is why I sold. It looks like we're in here for a temporary dip. If you didn't hear the news, they're going to be pumping like $40 billion in the next couple years. Microsoft's going to be doing share buybacks of like excess of $40 billion. I think it's funny though. They put, so when they said that they were going to do the $40 million buyback, they said it could be stopped and withdrawn at any time. Like let's say the stock market starts tumbling, they're like, yeah, I don't want to buy this overpriced stock, and they can just stop it. I thought that was kind of funny. But like 3-4 years ago, I'm actually still holding it. But I bought quite a bit of Microsoft at about $50. Microsoft a few years ago hit a bottom of like $42. Yeah, you can see here, it's been amazing gains the last couple years. Oh, whoops, I thought I got it off. So the options I sold today, you know, those were just ones I purchased recently. You know, between Tesla together, not each one. I know there's a guy that misinterpreted it. Between Microsoft and Tesla today, I made roughly about 30%. But this is the area that I bought Microsoft in about 2014, 2015. I bought it about $50. You know, it's been a successful trade. I'm not sure when I'm going to get rid of it. There's really not a ton of reason to try to get rid of Microsoft right now. It's just so hot. I mean, this is what I'm talking about of why I'm trying to open up some people's horizons. because I love cryptocurrency. Trust me, it's the most innovative technology in our lifetime. But if you're going to sit here and ignore the stock market when it's been in the biggest bull run, literally, and probably, I want to say, in history of the stock market, it'd be insane. I mean, the stock market has just been on an absolute tear. If we use our price range tool, literally since about my purchase here at about 50 bucks, you know, I'm up roughly about 200%, and that's a stock. And that's only been about, okay, I guess it's been about 4 years, but you have to realize, though, I don't think you can purchase options that high, but could you imagine if we had 200% gains? I've never even looked into that. But if you were to buy like calls way back here, I think you can only go up to like a year. But damn, I bet you would have like 15-20,000% gains. Options are just, you get so much bigger gains trading options. And that's why a lot of people misinterpret the stock market. They think you need like all this money. Now, if you're going to buy the stock right out, then yeah, you need quite a bit of money to make it worth your time. Or you're better, you know, you have to sit and hold on it for a long time and speculate like I did. But options, literally, like today alone, you know, Tesla only went up maybe 3%. And I think I closed out with, I want to say it was like maybe 15% on Tesla. It's like 12, 15. My biggest gain today was Microsoft. But it's just something we're going to be going over, guys. Let's go take a look at Bitcoin. No, you never want to have all your eggs in one basket. So we're going to diversify. We're going to look at just some other options, because if you're looking to learn technical analysis, stocks are really where I would recommend starting. Technical analysis follows the stock market just so much more closely. I mean, there's a reason these traditional indicators were made. I mean, they were made to trade stocks. Someone said in the chat, if we fill this to the downside anymore, we're going to have a dark... Well, I guess this candle's already closed. So it doesn't matter, because this is the one we closed from yesterday. So I'm going to wait for about... Let's see here. Let's get the bottom of this. I'm going to wait to see if we break 10,170. Once we break 10,170, I'll probably start averaging into a short. And I will look to cover somewhere around maybe 10,050, or maybe I'll take half profit there and then put the rest of my take profit at 10.1 if we have a bounce. But at the same rate, you know, if I do take half my profit at 1050 and we keep declining, and let's say we go back to like 9,900 or maybe even our lows from yesterday, I will still have half of my position that will be accumulating gains from. So do you guys have any, is there anyone in the chat? Is there anyone that has any cool plans this weekend? So let's actually look at the date here. So the 23rd, I want to see what day the 23rd would actually land on. So it's Monday. All right. So we might actually have an interesting weekend of trading, guys. Maybe we have a lot of speculation leading up to the BAKKT launch on Monday, and we get some. You know, the last couple weekends have been a little slow, but there was a time this year where the weekends were just amazing to trade in. Just stare at my computer and wait for it. Yeah, I know the feeling, man. That's why I'm taking a weekend job for real estate. I need some human interaction, and you know, stepping outside of the computer. You know, I'm gonna trade full time during the week still. And honestly, it kind of works out because real estate, a lot of people, they only have their weekends off. So if they're gonna be looking at houses or whatever, the weekend's probably gonna be the best time. All right, let's check the poll, guys. Let's see what the overall consensus was. Wow. All right, we are bearish. Jesus, guys, 100% bearish. Well, that's not one person picked bullish. All right. All right. Thank you guys that voted. It's just the easiest way to get a consensus in the chat, see what everyone's thinking. Obviously, we're all bearish in here. But once again, thank you guys for everyone that voted. It's just something to add, you know, spice up the stream a little bit. Going to my first gay wedding. You guys are great. My weekend plan is to form the couch to my body. Coincidence? I think not. Yeah. Well, Mandy, Eden, have a good time at your first gay wedding. I've never been to one myself. I've never been to one. I've seen them. I live in Lawrence, Kansas. It's a you know, it's a pretty conservative state, but it's like a really like liberal like district in Kansas. I don't know if you're from the United States, but there's quite a bit of them in Lawrence, like weddings and stuff. Not like profiling, but like weddings, you know, especially for like if you're specifically talking about gay weddings, that's where you're gonna see them in excess. But have a great time. Sounds fat. Gosh dang it, Ernest. Australia has only just like what? So like they banned gay marriage? Interesting. Like I know in the United States, I know they banned like gays from like joining the military, but Obama overdrew like he flipped that law. I don't even know if it was a law, but I don't think in the chat was that a thing? Like was actually like marriage banned in this country, or was it just the military? Now that I'm thinking about it, I think it was a law at one point. Like I think people were going to like different states to marry. I don't know. I don't get into politics too much. Double yellow X on the 5-minute Bitcoin. Let's check her out. Hey, are you talking about Market Cipher A, Gabe? We're just spent 500 million. Jesus Christ. That's insane. 500 million. How does it cost money to vote? I just don't understand. You know what I mean? Like, it's like a public service. You walk in, you fill in a ballot. I think a lot of like government ran programs are just scammy. Market Cipher B. Oh shoot. I just realized I keep forgetting the change here. Yes, A. Okay, I was like, is there even a yellow X on? Let's check it out. Oh, it's in my, I don't know why I keep looking this up. I literally have it in my favorites list. Let's check it out. get rid of all these ribbons. I don't use them. All right. Set a double yellow X on the 5-minute. What exchange are you using, Gabe? Oh, you know what? I don't think no, I'm on Heikenashe. All right. Are you using normal candles? No. Let me know what exchange you're using. I'm using Bitstamp right now, and I'm not seeing it. I'm not even seeing 1x. Even though on the 5-minute, we did pop a green buy dot here. Ugh. Okay, I guess it was at 10,000, so let's just be, okay, $350. You know, these guys were sweating it, like, oh, we're at resistance, we're going down, and then you see this candle up to the upside. Oh, you're using the Market Liberator? Okay, I was like, no wonder I can't find it. Let's see. Thought I had it in here. Let's check it out. Liberator. Whoa. That looks like scary similar. Market Liberator. It looks kind of similar to Market Cipher. See what it looks like on the 3-hour. I'm just checking this out, guys. I've never looked at the Liberator B. They do look similar, though. Interesting. I mean, if you look at it here, this is the Liberator. And then this is the Market Cipher. Interesting. I haven't looked at the Liberator B yet until you said something about it. I've looked at the A, but oh, I don't want to compare. Oh, it's gonna make me go. This is why I kind of hate going through all these things, and then I like, especially like when I have to flip-flop, because I have to sit here and like basically redo everything. I wish there was a way with these indicators I could save them in my favorites list. I don't have to sit here and redo them how I like them every time. It does get kind of annoying. Trying to find these triangles. Oh, here it is. Alright, I'm going to stick with this because I don't want to have to redo it every single time. Ah, there you go. Okay. We're on the same page now. So you got your 2 yellow X's here. See, it's like, well, which way do you go here, though? Because if you think about it, you're seeing yellow X's, and then if you actually go back to market cipher B, look what you have here on the 5-minute. You look like you could be, you actually popped a green dot on the wave, and you have snake eyes here on the 5-minute. And you're showing red here as well. Yeah, that's what I normally do, but like if I like save them as defaults. Ah. You guys are geniuses. Thank you. Yeah, I usually press the I here to hide them. But I'm talking like if I actually exit out of this indicator and I replace it with something else, like when I click it again, I'd like it to be the same. But I did the save as defaults. Let's see if it holds. All right, so we just broke under 10,200, chat. Are we going to break 10,001? Let's see. What's our official mark going to be? 10,170? Let's see. I'm going to do this one too. See how we look like on our moving averages. The 1 hour looks pretty good. Are we above all of our moving averages? No? Okay. Okay. So we're creeping back up to a 10-2. From a moving average standpoint, we actually don't look too bad here. If you go here to the 1 hour, let's confirm this real quick. I have a new moving average tool. So our 13. Yeah, so our 13 and our 100 are actually about to cross here. Looking at it from a 4 hour standpoint, yeah, we're pretty much just, we're literally just going west to east here. So nothing to really see on the 4 hour. We're just looking at the EMAs right now. But I will be curious to see, I mean the 13 and the 1, wow, I hate it when it does that. The 13 and the 100 isn't like a major cross. Like if you're 13 and you're 34 cross, that's a bullish cross. Or if like you're 50, I believe it's your, I want to say it's your 50 and your 200. But man, you know you have a good support line when this happens. You can see this, we didn't alter it. We literally just been sitting here watching. We came right, I mean, to the T on our support line. Bounced right off of it back to the upside. So let's see if we hold it. I mean, we can still easily fill and, you know, go past our support box, but I mean, damn. I mean, literally to the T. 10,170 bounced right off of it. Let's see if it holds. Let's see it here a little bit better. Right in here. Wow. Mouse is kind of tripping out a bit, but you can see it right in here. And, you know, we didn't alter this at all. This is just based on the, you know, I try to show you guys each time how I build these support and resistances. See what the score is here on that game. It just kind of seems like the Titans have a pretty poor team this year. (17-7) with 8 minutes left. Yeah, looks like Jacksonville has this one in the bag. Yeah, the Chiefs right now, it's rumored there's a whole bunch of teams going after Jalen Ramsey. He's like a star cornerback, if you're not familiar with like the NFL. But he's like a star, super young player. And my Chiefs need a defensive back, so I'm kind of hoping we go up and get him. I would hate for him to join like the Ravens or especially the Patriots. That would suck. Did our music stop? Oh, I guess we just are switching albums very slowly. Cool. So we're back above 10,002. So I really think this is what's going to be happening tonight, guys. Honestly, saying that we had this major impulse to the upside, chances are I don't really see us breaking 10,050 tonight, but I think we're just going to bounce between like maybe 10,170, 10,150, and 10,300 tonight. Maybe we get some action here in the early morning, like really early, like 2, 3 in the morning. So here in the next like 5 hours. You know, from a bullish standpoint, though, I do like how we bounced off of our support box here. We popped a snake eyes, though, here on the 5-minute. I'd like to see how this feels, though. You can see we're having kind of like a downward cup. But you can see here, though, we actually did throw a buy dot here. Oh, you can see it right in here, though. Let's check the 15-minute. Nope, no buy dot on the 15. So I think we're just going to get a lot of sideways action today, or tonight, which is perfectly normal. I mean, we seriously had a really nice impulse to the upside today. You know, once again, I think we're just going to bounce between 10,170, maybe 150, and this 10,000, you know, maybe 300 area tops. I think we're just going to sit here and consolidate. Maybe we form a Bart Simpson, you know, we'll be able to tell tomorrow, or if, well, I guess if you're on the Eastern Hemisphere, later tonight. So, you know, maybe we come down and we just sit here. And I hate how my mouse, like I'll try to draw a line and it breaks it up into like several parts. But maybe we form something like this, and then we'll make our BART to the downside. Whenever you have big impulses to the upside, Bitcoin is really like this Bart Simpson pattern. You know, just like to the downside. When you have a major impulse to the downside, you can see how we formed the top, like the head. And then, you know, we shot up to the upside. So we had like an inverse BART. Looks like our neighbor's home. Reese. Watch your alt positions. Yeah. I never moved my funds yet. I didn't jump into alts. Something just told me yesterday, and I even had a post about it. I was like, literally the moment I send my Bitcoin to trade alts, Bitcoin will dump. Hours later, Bitcoin dumps, and basically took all the altcoins with it. So, and you know that's sad. You know, from an altcoin, you know, we showed all the signs of a possible alt, and that doesn't mean it's still over. Maybe this was just a little bump in the road last night, but it really sucks when you have all the signs of altcoin season, and it's like, nope, fake out. I mean, Bitcoin was consolidating, Ethereum ran up, XRP ran up, you know, had all the signs of altcoin season of 2017. So, let's see what time it is. Alright, so thank you for everyone that's watching between YouTube and Twitch. You can actually see even on here, we had a nice bounce off of our support here on so it looks like, to be like more specific, it's like 28.6, 28.7 is where XRP has support. And you can see, I really like this feature. How, like, okay, I'm going to take this new feature as like a confirmation that we've rounded this off. Because a lot of times I've noticed you'll do something like this, and then it's like, yeah, no, it's not. So, I like now that he actually gave you the signal on the momentum wave now. Just like kind of like here. Well, see, you can see it did pop a green dot here. So I'm going to mess around with the new market cipher B. From a 1 hour standpoint, it looks like XRP is going to run up again tonight. You know I love my 1 hour. And you can see it here. You have your wave of bearish momentum, so you're selling pressure. And then you're showing a lower wave. So if we can pop like maybe a green dot, we'll try out the new indicator, like the new addition to market cipher. We'll get to test it out here. But if Bitcoin doesn't dump, XRP looks like we'll move back up here. And once again, if you're looking for price targets, you are showing some resistance here at about 31 cents now on your short-term time frames. So you can see how it was resistance up here, and then it was support here. You can see, I mean, it wasn't a perfect touch point, but we actually came back up and tested as resistance and failed. So the way I'm looking at XRP right now, you could be maybe we go back above 30 cents. But for now, 31 cents will be my first target for resistance, especially if you were to long this dip. But just know, guys, don't get too greedy with XRP yet. 32.5 cents has been just extremely hard to break, and we have yet to do it. We can't. Even on this run up, we still could not break 32.5. I mean, it looks like we briefly wicked over it and then went immediately down. So you have 31, your 32.5, and then your major resistance from 35 to 38 cents. I would probably be a seller at 35, or maybe at least sell half, and then maybe put your take profit at maybe like 32.5, 33 cents. So if you do come back down and you move right back up, you know, maybe you can absorb more gains. It's all situational. And I noticed there was a comment on my YouTube channel, and I want to make this thing. So when I say I'm leaning bearish, you have to realize everything is situational. When I say there's resistance, you know, that I'm thinking about shorting, that doesn't mean I just set shorts there no matter what. You know, so if you're on our Discord channel, I'll let you know when I enter or when I exit. So even though we're showing support here at 28 cents, that doesn't mean the moment we break it, I'm shorting. So, you know, there's XRP. We're going to take a look at Ethereum and then Bitcoin, and I think we're going to call it a night. I got to start preparing for bed. I'd like to do a morning stream tomorrow. Hopefully we get some action here. So Ethereum, your current price is about $219. You have your first area of resistance here at 225, with your next one being at 235. If we can close a 4-hour above 235, I will be eyeing our trade setup to at least 250, but really the 260 to 265 range. You have short-term support at 215, with your major support from 200 to 205. Let's take a look at Bitcoin real quick. You have pretty stiff resistance here at 10,400. You have your major support box. Let's actually go here on the 1 hour. You have your support box here from about 10,170. You can see where we had our bounce right off of it. And it looks like the top of our support box may be flipped as resistance now at 250. So 10,250 to 10,003 is going to be our new resistance, with your major resistance at 10,400. And if you look at our chart, you can see it's going to be right at the top of our descending line that we've had for a while now. So you have major resistance at 10.4, with your next line of resistance from 250 to 200, or I'm sorry, 10,250 to 10,300 is your short-term resistance, with your major resistance here at 10,400, with your first line of support from 10,170 to about 10,200. And then of course, you know, this is our support box, even though it didn't hold up very well last night. But you can see all the touch points across it, which is about 10,050 to the bottom here, which is at about, you know, 10,750. So, you know, that just about does it for tonight, guys. Oh, that's the dryer. But you know, I will be on Discord for about the next hour or two. I'm gonna start preparing for bed. You know, my goal is we will have a morning stream tomorrow. If for some reason we wake up and Bitcoin's doing nothing, you know, at least I'll let you guys know. But if you guys want to see some stock trading, maybe we can do a live session with stock trading if Bitcoin's not doing anything. But we'll talk about it tomorrow. But I will be on Discord for the rest of tonight. So if you guys have any questions or want to talk about anything, just let me know. But, you know, if I don't see you on the Discord, I will see you tomorrow morning. So, you know, thank you guys for watching. And, you know, I'll see you then. Thank you guys.